We don't need to print the internet. bad feeling about this.
Let's go!
What's up? What's up?
Oh my goodness. Taco, 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 taco. Hello, 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 and welcome to another One Lion of Code. I am One Lion. Moment must have some pretty cool content. Momnet. Sounds terrible. Time for a smoke break. All right, ciao. Enjoy your smoke break. I am One Lion, for those of you new here. I am not usually this late. I mean, it does happen from time to time, but I am typically working all the way up until the start of my stream. I don't really take a break in between the time that I pause my work day to start streaming, and when I start the stream, I just kind of transition, slide my keyboard and mouse over and use these monitors instead of my work computer. We have a release that's coming up, and we're trying to get remote desktop access available for the cybersecurity team that does all of the let us denied. Oh man, smart detection. Look at that. So you guys can't see this, but there were 2 messages that were on hold from bots that are denied. Pretty cool, Twitch. Anyway, so I need to keep my eye on my email. There's someone that's setting up the remote computer at the lab so that the testing team can remote into, test all the things. And they asked for remote desktop, which we don't use remote desktop for our remote view stuff. We use a different application. So anyway, we're going to figure all that out. So I need to keep my eye on that, be able to answer their questions. Our team lead is unavailable at the moment, so kind of stepping up for that, but totally okay. So hi, that's not what usually happens in the intro, not usually what happens on the stream, but that's where we're at today. So hello Goku Jax, I hope you've been having a great whatever day, weekend, start of your week, whatever time it happens to be for you. Let's head on over to the thing that's not ready yet, which would be my desktop, and see what we can do. So we've been working on this financial management tracker application for a million billion years. We finished the first part of it. Yeah, definitely. RDP is a big risk, but I mean, it's like all internal network. I just don't know what the testing team has access to, since I think they're a outsourced team. So I don't know. Wakarimasen desu. Okay. All right. Indeed, tail scale that. What is tail scale? If it's a internal, yeah, we use a different provider for this. But things have changed with the way that our testing team operates, or I guess it's more of a security review team. But we always have to have a version of our application go through a cybersecurity review and the other one that I can't think of what it's called. But we have 2 different review boards that need to okay the app before it actually goes to the Windows Store. And this one is the cybersecurity review. And the thing is, we do this for every single release. We release just about every 3 months. And so it feels like we have to start over from the very beginning every single time, because we get someone new every single time, and it's an outsourced thing. So it doesn't seem like there's a good ticketing system that keeps track of the historical reviews that we've had, the responses that we've already given on those. Yeah, basically an IT audit. Yeah, I would agree with that statement. So anyway, this time around, it's just that we have, like, hold on, let me just check to see if this is common real quick. Okay, so if you are in the know about current technology, you will learn about this device that I think is part of the whole CPU construction, but the NPU, computers are shipping with NPUs very, very soon, if they haven't started shipping already. And NPUs are neural processing units, and they're essentially the thing that can do a lot of the AI processing stuff. And so the manufacturer, the company, what are they called? The OEM? The OEM that we are creating this software for so that it ships with their computers is, or they already have some computers that are about to launch with NPUs. And so we have this new thing that we are writing hardware tests for, hardware diagnostics for. And so that's one of the major things that needs to get reviewed. Another one is that we are including warranty information, which we can look up via serial number for a device. And since we're running on the device that would be getting checked, we can pull that. We already have that information anyway in this diagnostics tool. And so we can get the basic information up front with just a serial number, and then we've provided a login mechanism so that they can also see any devices registered to their account and be able to get warranty information for them too. Wait, which term? Which word? I used a lot of words there. Is it NPU that you're talking about? Because, I mean, it's cool that we're going to have a dedicated processor for doing all of the natural language stuff and the inferencing and yeah. Wait, is this really? No, this is just RAM. I was like, is this what a neural processor looks like? I don't think so. It's just RAM. Yeah, we're going to have a dedicated piece of hardware on our motherboards going forward that have neural processing capabilities. That's specific to doing AI type stuff. So anyway, that's where I'm at with that. I'm still going to keep an eye on my email for anything that needs to happen. Yeah, NPU. Or that would need my attention. That needs me to respond to it so that we can get our build to cybersecurity so that they can review it, because they're doing this thing where they're now like just reading a book. They're putting a body in a position, you know, a human in a seat, and say, here, read from this script. Do these things. Push these buttons. If the requester is saying, well, we can't get that to you yet, then put everything on hold, move on to the next one. Then when you have time, go back. So we're trying to avoid any more delays. We were supposed to have our build ready as what's the word? What's the word that you do to code when you lock it down and you stop coding? Code freeze. We were supposed to have code freeze on Friday, but we still haven't even had the cybersecurity review yet, and we still have some localizations that we need to get back. But as far as the core functionality and everything, it's there. We're almost ready for code freeze, but I think it's going to delay us by a week or two for our release. Just kind of annoying. But I mean, it's like the release cycles aren't something that should be set in stone. We should release features when they are ready, when they're feature complete, and not on a timeline. Like, we should strive to hit a timeline, but the thing that should matter the most is getting a quality, full, completed product out, in my opinion. Is that in your opinion? It is in my opinion. Anyway, so let's talk about Financial Management Tracker. So this is our stream application. This is just for the stream only. This is not intended to go out into the market or to anyone. It's open source. You can see it on GitHub at this link. Nope. Ticketsoft always does this for me. Where is this project? Did I call it Finance Man? Nope. I don't know what the thing is for this project. Anyway, you can go to my GitHub and you'll see it in the Finance Man repository. You can follow along with it. We're currently in this. No, we aren't in a branch. We are done with the initial development of the application. You can check out the streams previously on YouTube's, and you can find it in a playlist called Season 1. Season 1. No, that's Blazor Twitchbot. Project 1. Project 1, Blazor Project Financial Management. This one here. So if you want to see all of the original development for the initial product, for the initial project, you can watch these videos. I will warn you that there's maybe 15 minutes of quality development content per video. We get distracted on this stream and just, well, I don't know. We do a lot of development related things, but not all of it is on the project. But yeah, if you're interested in seeing how we got to where we are with the project, you can look at these. We've started season 2, or just a continuation off of P01. And Big Gamey is here. Hello, Big Gamey and Thindle. We're now shifting from this completed project that was done in a way that was not great, if I'm going to be honest. We could have made a lot of better decisions than we did. Congrats on your turn. I like how it congratulated you for having a turn. Anyway, so the current version of the application looks like this, and it could have stood some more design work from the very beginning. And then second, having the test libraries actually created while working on it. But what we've done is we've taken that completed project, which is very functional, it works really well, and we're now starting to do UI work on it. So I'm calling this a redesign, and we're playing the role of a designer. Don't call me a butt. Nice. Nice. I'll give you guys a shout out in a second. Anyway, so I'm trying to make a much cleaner design, as if we were approaching this as a designer, a UI UX designer specifically. We know some HTML and CSS and maybe some JavaScript, but we're designers currently. My goodness. So you think a quick apology and everything is okay? I think that's called being deluded. Oh, I understand your frustration. Let me make it up to you. How about if I give you a free pass on your next shot? Actually, will it do it? Will it actually do that for you? That would be awesome. What would you even mean free pass, Automated Roams? Like, even if he misses, you'll still count it as a hit? Oh my gosh, that was really close. I think the tip of the arrow went just over. Oh my goodness. This thing is so mean to you. Try 18.8. Oh my gosh. So you can do decimals in the velocity, just so you know. Anywhere between 0 and 100. And the angle too, I think. Which is negative 180 to 180. Yeah, what happened to my free pass? I don't think it's... I don't think that's gonna work. Yeah. Try replying to its message and saying shoot 41 18.8. That'd be hilarious if it still treated it like an actual shot. You scored 1 point. I love how it can just make up scenarios. You sit on a throne of flies. True. Anyway, there was a comment up here from Tyndall that said, actual thought, would you call it redesign if you're going from programmer design, basically a grid on a white background that's functional, to something that's both pretty and functional? Yeah, I would. I would call it a UI redesign. Absolutely. So this is the original design. And then this is the redesign landing page, at least. That's what we've been working on for, I don't know, 30 streams now. A really long time, because I don't do very much work on stream, apparently. Because I love hanging out with you guys. I hope you can find humor in my words moving forward. Anyway, Tyndall says original design still had some designery elements, and we enjoy hanging out with we guys. We guys. Okay, so let's do some chat outs. First one that came in was TBD Gamer. Very first one that said hello. He streams early mornings for me. It is 5 o'clock Mountain Time, which is UTC -6 currently. TBD Gamer. See if we have any clips from him. It's usually him staring at...
I learned to code through a lot of failure.
True. Same. Anyway, that's TBD Gamer. He is an app developer. He's currently working on 2 apps on his stream. App number 1 is Water Drink Water, where you are tracking the amount of water that you drink. It is fully community project that he only does on stream. It's open source. Check out his stream for the details, or his channel for the details. Number 2 project is called Liquid Sky, I want to say. Hopefully I got it right this time. I'm always getting it wrong. So Liquid Sky is a project management project. Hello, Dickasoft 2. Oh, you can't even see my hand. I'll use this hand. I don't like using this hand. So it's a project management project. So think Azure DevOps, think Trello, a few other things that you can mix in there. Dickasoft 3. But it's intended for the tracking projects and stuff, but from a developer standpoint. Less fluff, more actual important things. So it's a cool project. He works on the Water Drink Water on Mondays and Tuesdays, and the other project on Wednesdays through Fridays. So that's TBD Gamer. Check him out. 7 a.m. Eastern time. And next shout out. I think timer should be cooled down by now. Next person that came in was Tyndall. That streams, I should say. Tuned out. He was also an app developer.
We don't want to do things over and over.
Yeah,
all right, so this needs to be, let's see, where am I now? I'm in category facade, get products in category. Alright, so we have 2 of them. I need to
Well,
get
some
a
of us do.
thing here. I need to get the brand.
What's the point here? Random clips, obviously. But anyway, check out his stream. He streams on Tuesdays, I believe, usually. Sometime in my morning. Yeah, Tuesdays. And it's like 11 o'clock Pacific, I want to say. Or not Pacific, Mountain Time. 11:30 Mountain Time. So UTC -6, 11:30. Oh, you can do the math. Ooh. But yeah, I'm almost always there. I'm on everyone's stream typically, like everyone's at the same time. I just haven't been able to chat much lately. It's been something else at work lately, and that's gonna be done soon. So I'm kind of excited about that. A little apprehensive. But yeah, that was Thindle, as you saw. .NET application dev. His project is migrating a it started as web apps application through .NET Framework, through .NET Core. Yeah, web forms, sorry. That's what I meant to say. Web forms project, and he's gotten so far on it. He's using a lot of really cool technologies, and it's always a great time. You can see Zelda on there on occasion, which Dukasoft used the emote. So did Thindle. Great emotes for Zelda. Fun fact, last stream, I actually created a Net 8 project and got one of the views working. Awesome. Congratulations. So how are you? Oh, well, yeah, it might be too difficult to type. We'll just hear it on your stream tomorrow if you stream. But how are you porting the stuff over? Did you create a new project and you're actually going to rewrite? Or are you just pulling in files into the new project? Great view. And I will also mention that I am feeling very off kilter. That's the word that I want to use. I'm feeling very off kilter today. I feel like I am existing in multiple timelines at the same time. It's really weird feeling, and so I may forget what I'm talking about very often, or think that I said a thing that I didn't say. I apologize for that. Hopefully I can keep a nice, steady thought stream. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what's real and what isn't. Not gonna lie. It's a very, very weird feeling. But anyway, I've been moving all the logic from the actual project into backend, net standard, cool. Then now I created a new project, hooked up the references, copied the controllers and the views over. Views required some work. So you're still doing it in an MVC way though, right? Not Blazor? Or is this controllers for API? Because you're saying controllers and views. So that sounds to me like MVC, as opposed to just an API controller that you're using Blazor on top of. So yeah, MVC. Cool. Cool. Crazy cool. Admin will be Blazor. Fun times. These two fun times. Okay, and the third most absolutely wonderful person that I want to do a shout out for is Bit Gamey. He typically streams.
Balint is also very tired at the moment because, you know, all new parents are, so he might.
Oof. I apologize to anyone who has sensitive hearing. I disabled VODs and clippability, but I guess old clips remain. Oh, well, let me know if you don't want your clips shared anymore, and I'll just do a regular shout out for you from now on. But anyway, Big Gamey also works on 2 projects. He's a game developer working on a game called Homeward Hound, which is about a dog that gets separated from his people, needs to travel back in the style of Homeward Hound. He's doing a lot of really, really cool stuff on stream. Very fun time. So that's his Monday and Wednesday streams. He streams typically around the time that I end my stream. And then on Fridays, he works on a zombie game as a fun, just overall game. Like, they're both really fun. And he has a ton of interactive things on his stream. Just a great person in general. He's so good to be around. I love hanging out with you. Sorry I haven't been as interactive on your streams. Like, I think on Friday we rated you and I said I'm gonna go take care of something. Was it you that we did? I can't remember. They're cross timelines, man. But I said I was gonna go do lunch and then come back, and then I didn't talk at all. By the time I got back to my desk, there were 8,000 things that were happening at the same time. Ooh, cool. I've been watching Fallout on Amazon, so I'm thinking of a redemption connected with that. Awesome. And then, of course, I can't have a stream without, at least from now on, without shouting out my favorite mod, Dukasoft. Amazing, amazing persons. Peoples. You'll see him modding on many people's streams. He's awesome. He's a very, very, very awesome peoples. I don't have any special magic stuff for mods, but just a big shout out to Dukasoft. Thank you so much for everything that you do. You're so awesome. Stop it. Anyway, thanks. Arigatou gozaimasu. Okay, so if anyone else happens to come in that we know, we'll definitely give them a shout out. But for now, let's just continue with our discussion on the project and then actually do something on the project. So the redesign of the UI, as you can tell, is a little bit more modern looking. We get this nice full page landing page. I have a couple of ideas for how to format it, but for now I'm going with the diagonal lines. This is just a idea of what could go inside of this content. I'm not thrilled about it, but I also don't hate it. Yeah. But this is the overall layout of the full content. Holy cow. How did I scroll up so high? Big Gamey was going at it with the automated realm spot. I'm surprised it hasn't gotten stuck yet, though. It does a pretty good job. Who's next? Clay? Oh, not here. But Clay is a great streamer. He's really entertaining, really fun guy to hang out with. Clayman Dev. I did didn't I? I can't see the bottom of my chat.
And there is the Discord right there.
Like dance together. We need clipception for this. That's one of the main reasons I cut my clips at 30 seconds, because sometimes there are musics that come through on the clips that I don't own the rights to. So I just want to make sure that I don't play too much of them and get blocked. Read the Fallout thing. I only say that so he doesn't ban me. Oh. Ooh, thank you so much for making a Clayman dev shout out. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Dukasoft. So you can see there what Clayman works on. Epic hero game, physics-based roguelite. You're so helpful. Another reason for me not to save villains. Good times though. Okay, so here is the full page content, as you can see, full page content of the Financial Management Tracker's landing page. We have this hero section that goes from being the full page hero to a collapsed version of itself. And then the rest of the page content, I still don't know what to do with the sections. But right now there really are only 2 sections, but within the first track transactions action that you can perform with this app, there are 3 types of transactions that we could highlight in some unique and interesting way. Then there's the view transaction history section, and then the actual app footer that we just finished styling on the last stream. There was a something. Oh, let me just do this first. We're gonna go in order. This is kind of the effect that I want to happen as you're scrolling, where the hero section starts disappearing into the scroll the higher it gets. So we'll do that. This is just showing you that it's a 2-column layout for this section. Maybe have a different color background. Can we turn off layout? Yeah. So we still have some decisions to make on what that actually looks like, but it's a good overall start. And because I actually wanted to see what this looks like in practice, we started working in a code pen, which I believe is public. I'm pretty sure it's public. So if you do have any suggestions, you could always fork this and let me know. Speaking of which, on the previous stream that we were working on this, I was talking about how on this page, there are some weird margins that I was not expecting. Why did you take that long, dude? And so I got a response from both Dukasoft and Unicus. And I have 2 approaches that we're going to explore today on what was causing this issue. And the thing that's causing the thing that I'm looking at as being an issue is that there's a gap between these sections. And that doesn't make sense at all because my section doesn't have any margins. It has padding, but not margins. And so there shouldn't be any gaps in between any of the sections. Main is not display flex, so that shouldn't have caused any of it. Oh, how did I end up? What did I do? Why did I do that? I was just clicking on stuff. And so what Dukasoft found, yep, was that there is a H2 that serves as the header that has the padding, but the thing is that that padding does not bleed outside the section. So you wouldn't expect the padding on the H2 to actually be the thing that's affecting it. Although he did give us an example. So let me find that one real quick. Of adjusting the H2's styling. Codehelp.net. You didn't PM it to me, right? You actually put it in. Blazor. Oh man, I should have written down where you put it. Never flagging dragon. Who's a naggle? Look at the margin on the green header lower down. So we got this header here. Header. Nope. Lower. This one. Okay. So this one supposedly has a margin. Is that what you're saying? H2 definitely does. Yeah, so the H2 definitely 100% on this one, but not on the first one. Okay, all right. So that means that this thing doesn't have the background. Wait, what? That's very confusing. Is it not? Interesting. Why? So the first one doesn't do that, but the second one does, and it looks like there's some overflow that's being applied to section. That is preventing it from filling up the entire content. Margin 0 auto, display block, H2, display block, font size. Yeah, there is absolutely nothing that we have put on here that would cause it to do that. So weird. Does anyone have any thoughts on why this is happening? Hero section is the padding of the hero section. I'm not sure I understand what that means. Real quick, let's find section. Here's header, main section. Wait, why did that say? Why am I logged out? No. It's only one change. Hold up, wait a minute. Something. Don't mind all the flashy. It's just me logging into CodePen. Okay, so it did actually save that, didn't it? Main over school. Okay. Oh. Wait, what? That's so weird. Okay. Dukesoft is saying the hero section is the padding of hero section. That top one. So this hero section is the padding. I still don't think I understand. Because I'm definitely seeing the hero section is taking up the entire space, and then we change to the track transaction section. But the thing that was weird was the view transaction section. The header inside of it was overflowing above. So when we had this thing turned off, the header or the H2 was actually overflowing outside of the section. And that doesn't make any sense at all. Let's see if Junicus's thoughts could give us any more insight. Overlay scrollbar to fluent scrollbars, blah 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 blah. That's flags. Okay, so Junicus's suggestion involved setting some feature flags in Chrome, and I'd prefer to just have this work without needing the additional feature flags. Do you know what I say? Because if not, I don't either. But there we go. Just for making sure that everything does flow all the way, let's also check the footer. Footer. Do I even have styles for footer? Actually, let's make it. It's 333. Footer. Yeah, so we have the same issue with footer. Yeah, that's so weird. Why? I think it has something to do with collapsing margins. Let's read about collapsing margins. In CSS, the adjoining margins of two or more boxes can combine to form a single margin. Margins that combine are said to collapse. Good thought. Okay, so that would mean that. So let's turn this off real quick. Nope, not you. You. That tells us that a margin of a previous element, the adjoining margins of two or more boxes can combine to form a single margin. Adjoining vertical margins collapse except margins of the root element's box if the top and bottom margins of an element with clearance are adjoining. Its top collapses with the adjoining margins. Oh my goodness, this is such a confusing phrasing. I don't think I can understand this. So let's look at that one in specific. I don't actually have margins set. Well, it's CSS. So if we look at this one, header has a margin of 0 auto, 0 vertical, so 0 top and bottom, auto left and right, which means it'll center itself. Its child element, the H2, has a margin that is written in this way because this is the browser standard margin. So is it also saying that if I manually set the margin for the H2s, it wouldn't get this weird behavior? I'm so confused. Another thing we could try is setting the bounding box to box sizing to border box. No. It's a very odd behavior, is it not? It's a very, very, very weird. I don't like it. So anyway, I'm getting rid of that. We're just gonna keep the overflow auto and put that on the section and footer. So it does seem to work the way that I'm expecting it to. Okay, so point is that every single one of these sections, including the footer, has overflow. I was like, why did it break? What did I do? Has no gaps in between the actual containers for each section, footer, etc. It's a very nice button, if I do say so myself. I love this little cat. Kawa. Okay, so now we need to do some actual styling on these sections. And the thing that I was really trying to accomplish with having the sections themselves be full width no matter what is that regardless of how wide I make the page, let's go ahead and put these on bottom or on top, whatever, I don't care, you choose. Regardless of how wide I make the page, I still want whatever section background I have to go across the whole screen. I just don't know if that actually looks good if we have, for example, a ultra wide monitor where the content will still be centered. Or if I should actually clip the width of the content of the rest of the page to just the center X amount of pixels at breakpoints. That's really tough. Because I know the content is going to be a specific width. So let's say that we have a content width breakpoints. And as you can see, I'm prefixing every single one of my CSS custom properties, which may also be known as CSS variables. Do you already have these? I could have sworn we were on some site that pretty much gave us these breakpoints for free. Another day, another migration. Hello, Schnabel. By the way, you never ever have to feel obligated to say hi. You can just start chatting if you feel like it. But I will also greet you back if you do say hi. Yay! Oh, we can move this back to the side because it's getting kind of hard to read that. What was I looking for? I'm looking for the sizer site. And even, I don't even know if this happened in this reality. Didn't we go to some site that had breakpoint sizes? Like the typical place for extra small, regular, because I said medium and it was actually regular, large, extra large. Or did I just make that up? Pretty sure it was bootstraps that we were trying to... This table. Did we go here before on stream? Or did I just go to this site so many times that I think we came to it on stream? Anyway, we're gonna borrow Bootstrap's breakpoints. That's the short and even shorter of it. We're designers. We get to steal. Not really. I don't want to steal. I do not promote stealing. Definitely cite your sources. Bang. Okay, I don't even know how to use breakpoints when they're like this. So hopefully they have an example. So in media queries, the media query looks like... Well, how is it actually written? So you do something like... Oh my goodness. Scooch. Scooch over here. Oh, I feel so weird. For our media queries, at media max width how does it go? Hash curly brace $? Is that how you use SAS variables? Yeah, hash curly brace $. X grid breakpoint dot XS maybe? I've never done this before. So what does this render as? No, I'm not going to know because I'm not actually using it anywhere. Inline style sheet. It's got to be this. Okay, did that actually render as anything? And it looks like it didn't. And it looks like it ignored it because it's not valid. As I tear my lip apart. Don't pick at your lips. Even if they are molting. Oh, I didn't fill this in. Could just be that I have an error in my SAS. Okay, does this translate into any actual the thing? What even would I want to do with this? What was I? Do you guys like my song? Yeah, no. Still didn't like it. It's not giving me a rule. Probably because it's empty. Body int main content max width. No, I don't like that. Let's do background color pink so that we know that we are in this breakpoint. Yeah, there's nothing. So, Bootstrap, can you show us the secret sauce, or are you just going to keep that to yourself so that we have to use your styles? Grid tiers. How do I use? If any of you happen to know how to use this, please let me know so I can stop struggling. Variables and maps determine the number of columns, the gutter width, the media query point, at which To begin floating columns, we use these to generate the predefined grid classes above, as well as for custom mixins listed below. So this is the thing that I'm trying to use here. I also like this concept of container max widths. Dukasoff, you don't have to interrupt yourself. I'm sorry. I don't mean to ask so much, but because you asked, I'm trying to figure out how to use this in order to write media queries against against these sizing. So what that looks like on here is I want a media query with a max maybe this is working. A max width of small. And I want this to actually take effect. Count me out of that one. I mean, I'm looking at the documentation. Yeah, and then I opened this one, which took me down here. Variables help determine the number of columns. Custom mixins below. So these are our breakpoints, yeah? Hello, Juan Van. Happy Monday to you. I hope you're having a great day so far. I haven't heard that for a long time, Dukasoft. What's up, the sky? Yeah, so this is not telling me how to apply a SAS variable that looks like this. Our SAS custom property. Somebody teach me how to use this. Okay, colors, gray, red, green. For each color and we do the following. Oh, weird. Okay, let's give that a shot. So in root, actually I didn't need to copy root. I keep alt tabbing. I'm probably making you dizzy. I apologize for that. Commercials? No commercials. Is it already been an hour? Oh, wow. I am moving slow. Okay, so up here in our custom root stuff, we're going to get rid of root because it already exists. And we're going to do this thingy here, which is our grid breakpoints, which we already have defined out here. I wonder if it's okay to define it out there even. Maybe I need to put it inside of root, but let's just try this for now. So in grid breakpoints, for each key name value in grid breakpoints, we should now, when this renders, in Woot, get, wait, why haven't you refreshed? Oh, probably because this thing is broke. Let's just do this for now. It still doesn't like it. Undefined variable. Okay, we'll just get rid of it. Okay, what does that render, porfa? Style inline sheet. It renders dash dash xs dash dash sm dash dash me. So then how do I use this in my media query? Can I have a media query that says at media max width dash dash sm? Using value task instead of task. Anyone have another opinion? Use it when it's appropriate. Make use of value task. It's there for a reason. It's so that you don't have to create a whole state machine, I believe, when you can just have an easy return path. So if you have a value that can be returned, you're not allocating an entire state machine for that process. What's his name? Brandon Minnick had a really good talk. Where are you disconnecting from chat? No. YouTube. Brandon Minnick. Value task. Yeah, he had this talk that he's been doing for a long time, and I haven't watched his most recent one, but I'm sure that this one would have just as good of information. So I'll give you the link for this one. Absolutely. But this does go into, oh geez, that's not. He does, at least in his previous talks, he did go into when to use value task, when not to use value task. Same thing with using async await versus just returning the task or value task. That's a task of value to watch. Yes, absolutely. Lots and lots of value. Much, very many yes value. I hope I'm not leading you astray. I hope he does actually still talk about using value task. Do you have bookmarks? No bookmarks, but you do have a transcript. Yeah, okay. So here's some stuff talking about value task. That might help. Around the 45-minute mark. Hello, Irish John Games. Wait, is it broken? Did you break it, Big Gamey? Either that or it just doesn't work for Irish John Games. Quick shout out to Irish John Games, fantastic game developer working on a game called Rise of Piracy. Looks like it's going to be amazing. Real-time strategy, all the goodness.
Give me a moment. This is important game dev work we're doing, okay? You don't understand. Oh. Why? Alright.
I know these sounds.
The last one was a bit spluttery, wasn't it?
Anyway, it's always a great time over on Irish John's stream. He will be streaming in about an hour. I don't know when your stream time is again. I have it open, and then when you go live, it just pops up. So give or take. Missed you too. So he was on sabbatical for like a year? No, just kidding. It felt like a really long time without your streams though. But last week was super duper busy for me, so I was kind of happy for it. Cause yeah, your streams are very fun and they make me want to interact with you. I haven't had the mental availability to lately. And so when I send my first message, it's usually on a Wednesday when I'm sitting in line at Taco Bell, waiting to order my food. And then I kind of just drop the conversation because then I need to start driving again. Yes. I push this button. I push this button. All right, so did I even figure out a thing? No. This should say var smeh. And maybe that's what my entire issue has been this whole time. Oops. Main. Excuse me. Excuse me, where's my cursor? Memory on this, dude. I totally forgot. It's mod something day. Betty will skip this stream. Mod something day? Tell us more. User has already won. Let me figure out what's going on with that real quick. What are you doing, Senor Batu? Clear history. Are you even responding anymore? Oh wait, automated ROMs. Clear history, please. He is responding. It is responding. History clear. Oh man, there are so many. Oof. So many intertwining universes right now that I don't know what is reality. So I'm just going to leave that one alone. Wow. That is such a weird feeling. Jiminy. Anyway, maybe you can try the archery again. I don't know if it works. Maybe it just doesn't work for you because your name is so special color. It's like, I would be interested to know though, Senior Bot. I think I have a log printing out somewhere. Yeah, what? Okay, here's my idea. I have such good ideas. They're the best. We open up our admin services. You can make them do anything you want. Nice. It even responded with an emote. How in the world did it respond with an emote? It's so clever. There you go. TwitchBot service. Restart. I don't have any sounds that go yahoo whenever I restart my bot. I'm not that clever. Okay, reconnected to Twitch lib stuff. Listen on my stream, Lex. And let's try archery. Nada. Oh, I don't know why it broke. Are you working in the browser source directly? Yes, but not on the stream over. Oh, you know what? Me either. What if I refreshed this thingy? Yeah. Okay. So it'll be ready. Let me just shoot. Pew, I don't know, 0. Lasers. Damn. You need to calm down. Yay. Okay, so it should be reset and ready. All that I should have needed to do is refresh the browser source in OBS, and that would have worked. Anyway, it's there. Again, it's back. It works. I can't get this to work though. I don't know what I'm doing. I wanted to use these breakpoints. What does the grid breakpoints definition look like? It looks like this. I need to make it bigger. Let's find out. I appreciate it. Okay, so here is theme colors, and I am using SCSS. Cool. So theme colors. And is this matching the syntax? No. This is not using quotation marks. So the reference that I was using is Bootstrap, and the way that they're using their grid points, breakpoint groupings. But they don't give an example of directly using the breakpoints in a rule. At least not that I could find easily. But I'm definitely happy to try adding quotation marks. It's either that or having them defined outside of root that's breaking it. Okay. And then what is the usage of this, please? Map.get. Okay, so that's the missing piece. And do I have to use this? Do I have to import use SAS map? I'm going to assume yes. Right, yeah. Okay, so this is why it was okay. I don't remember where I saw this one. Oh, they do have examples. Love a CSS map. Maybe I could finally find what I was looking for. Larry's lost treasure. Yeah, so they're using some kind of function. Interesting. So this thing kind of does help, but I'm wanting to use this in the rule for a media query. Jeez. Oh, geez. So I want to use it here as the rule. And what I'm doing up here in root, I'd be happy to try anything you suggest, is I'm going through the property, this custom property here. At least I think that's what these are called. Anyway, SAS variable. And I'm going through all of the small, extra small, small, medium, large, extra large, extra large, and looping through them and making an output of the dash key name : value, which we should see in the render. I mean, that part should work. What if you tried map get? Yeah, let's try that. You have to try it. Hello, Apocalypse. Oof. It's a good thing my bladder isn't as full. It's full enough, though. Drink water. Working on it. All right. So yes, we are definitely getting our output of those CSS variables. CSS custom properties is what I said. So dash dash XS 0 dash dash small 576. I hate that these are beginning breakpoints instead of ending breakpoints. So min width 0, min width 576. But I mean, it's a decision. It works. So what I'm not getting is a media query for small. Wait, why did it show up this time? Why is it there this time? Excuse me. I feel so weird. I feel so very, very weird. Okay. So, supposedly, if I get small enough, we should get a background color of pink, but we don't. Oh, right. We have a code to try. Max width. And then breakpoint your key. So let's try that. Are you gonna let me actually inline edit you? That would be cool. Breakpoints and then our. Oh my gosh. Nada. Okay, and in here. Anything. Yes, that worked. You get 1,000,000 points, Wistful Moonlight. 1,000,000,000,000 points for you. Look at that. Map yet. Thank you so much. So very much. Is that the real Irish heartthrob? No, it's the fake one. Bang important all the things. We will bang important. All right. Okay, great, good, fine, okay. So, Imposter John Games, got it. Okay. It's just kind of sad that we can't use the variable name. So let's go mid. I mean, we kind of are using the variable name. We're using the key name from this dictionary. So mid, lug, xl, and xl. Mid, lug, xl, xl. Extra large. And that's it. And we'll go pink, blue, orange, yellow. Okay. That's max width. I need max width for you and min. Oh, Do I need to specify both when I do this? I don't want to specify both. Do you use any HTML, CSS, JavaScript for your UI? I typically, let me show you what my code typically looks like for UI. Which you can also see on the GitHubs. Bang project. There it is. Okay. I remember the command now. Load. You can do it. And I'm only going to show you the UI part of it. Because that's what you're asking about. Hey, it actually loaded twice in a row. Oh my goodness, load. You're not waiting on me for anything. So close, man. Oh my gosh, that looked like it went right through it. How did that not? What does this say? Well, chemical extract. Miscellaneous files. Opening miscellaneous files in a solution. Good idea. Okay, so in my UI, I typically have a compiled CSS that comes from all of my Sass partials that gets stuffed into an app.sass in a specific order, and that gets output as app CSS. Then because I'm using Blazor, I tend to do everything using C# code, including UI interactivity for 98% of the things. But for the things that I can't do using C# or they get massive performance hits, I do fall back to JavaScript. And so that's what this JS interop is all about. For example, this Super Dukasoft interop. Collapse all select lists. So when you start dragging a WPF window or a Maui window, it doesn't automatically collapse the dropdowns, the select list dropdowns. So they'll just kind of stay in place. Like what you expect to happen is I expanded this dropdown and I'm moving the window, and you see how it collapsed itself and then the window started moving. But what happens by default when you're using a Blazor web view in a WPF or Maui application is this content box stays in place while the window is moving. So that's what this one does. Draggable container, drag start, same thing. Clipboard, copying stuff to your clipboard, writing content out. And so this all uses JavaScript code, but it's very few things that I will use JavaScript for. And what was the other question? CSS? Yeah. So you saw my Sass, you saw my JavaScript if I ever need to use any. Most everything else is handled using UI state or the actual page itself. If I use HTML, CSS, JavaScript for my web app, then can I easily use that for desktop UI with .NET Web View? If you're doing Blazor, absolutely yes. If you're using just regular compiled Razor syntax, which is usually .cshtml, I don't think it's very easy to load those types of Razor pages into a web view. But I don't have very much experience with it, so I can't tell you that for sure. But if you're using Blazor, then absolutely. If you write everything in regular HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, then you get a Blazor web view control. It looks like this. and you give it whatever Blazor component you want to render. So in this case, I want to render the entire application, but if I wanted, I could just have it render only one of the screens. So let's say I wanted a pop-up window instead of having it open in the same single window. For example, if I wanted to create a custom dialog that when I push Control D, it shows up like this, and it's not part of the page itself, it's a new window, then I would have it only load this component with this. So you pretty much still use this entire Blazor web view thing inside of a new page, a new .xaml file, but you point the component itself to only the one that you want rendered. And typically you would still use the index.html because that has all of the setup for it. But yeah, if you're using vanilla HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, I'm pretty sure it works just fine in a regular web view control. But Blazor web view, I highly recommend. Yeah, this is a .NET MAUI application, so let me show it running with .NET MAUI using Windows. Project needs to be deployed. Do 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 do. Manamana. It's probably going to open on that window because I don't have it. I don't have the startup location set. Yeah, it did open on this window. Let's see a bit. Okay, so this is the application running in MAUI desktop. I could also run it using MAUI Android. There's a little bit more hookup that needs to happen in order to route the Android emulator's API calls to my API backend. But this is the running application here. And just to prove it, this is what it looks like if you're running in Wasm. Or WASM. So here it is running in a browser. And here it is running in the desktop app version. And so if we went to data entry, we'll see my list of previously added records. And that list should match, provided this is actually going to work for me, should match this list here. So account balances, they look the same, I hope. Twos, many twos. The actual transactions list looks the same. So pretty much it's one Blazor UI with all of its backend services. And the backend services come in the flavor of, if you're running a client-side version of the application, it will do HTTP requests. If you're running a server-side version of the application, it will just do the actual server operations on the system itself that it's running on. But for both of these, this is the WebAssembly version and this is the desktop MAUI version. They both use the API backend. So they're both using this exact same fineandman.server project. and they're both using this UI. And the only difference is whether it's running in desktop or running in web. So let me know if I can clarify any of that, and I'd be happy to. Yeah, you can see why we're going through and redesigning the app. It's not pretty, you know? It's got some issues. Vanilla HTML and JavaScript should be used. I wouldn't say should be, but it can be used, yes. Like with this setup here, because I'm using a Blazor web view and not just a regular web view, I'm loading the entire Blazor component chain thing. And so it's displaying my full application because I'm pointing it to this app.razor file, which has all of the instructions for how to route to different pages, how to display when you can't actually find a page, what to display, what layout to use. And anything else you want in there. And that just pretty much says display whatever's in main layout. And main layout looks like this, which is here's your page structure, a div, followed by the top bar component, followed by main with whatever content is in the thing you're trying to load, in the .razor page you're trying to load, and then a couple of message dialogues. However, you can still display vanilla JavaScript using this. Using the same Blazor web view, it's just you wouldn't have any Blazor components in it, so you may as well just use your regular web view. But I don't have very much experience using regular web view. I've only ever used a Blazor web view control. Did I call it a component before? But like my guess would be that you could still use a Blazor web view control and have the page here, this host page, controlled by your app. And so maybe you could point this to some generic HTML page. There you are. Not me. Whoa. I started shouting for a second there. Sorry about that. Okay, and then we'll have a link in here. And then we'll have some other static page, like word 2. Love me off cook. Oops. As I turned it into a C#. No, you hush. We're having fun. Load me to. No, I did not CS again. What am I doing? Help. Because my alarm was going off, I need to start wrapping up. But we will get through this. HTML, please. Porfa. And we'll get the same structure. Pasta. Static HTML page loaded. ahref equals, oh, nothing here. 2. And then view, go to load me 2. All right, let's see what this even looks like. And I use the same HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Blazor templates for all my pages in .NET Blazor Hybrid app. Title, top bar banner, absolutely yes, 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 yes. Responsive FAQ section, yes, yes, and yes. So as you can see, I separated my project so that the Blazor UI is in its own CS proj file. This has my main layout. So all of the first stuff you're talking about, the title, the top banner, the header, the side menu, the placeholders for all of those. And then the actual pages, the actual page content. I currently only have one page in this app. No, I don't. I have multiple pages. I have this page. This is the landing page, and then the data entry page, and then the data entry components that get rendered on that page. Yeah, so this works for web, a WPF app directly, a MAUI app, which includes Android, iOS, Tizen, desktop, and something else that I'm missing. Oh, Mac. Yeah, full Mac. And Blazor WebAssembly and Blazor Server. And what we're going to do when we're done redesigning all of it is we're going to do it in .NET 8 as well. So we can show that just all of it. Every single project type for .NET 8. We'll do the one that is only server rendered. We'll do the one that is only WASM essentially. And then we'll do the one that is select automatically. Yeah, so let's see what this looks like. Oh, I didn't tell it which. Heck nabbit. So the thing that I forgot to do was tell our entry point for the MAUI application to use, what did we call it? Load me.html. There isn't going to be a spot to load this, so there should be a hash app if I wanted to load the app. But since we don't have an element with an app, with app as the ID, I got words. It is, what? So it still loaded the regular app. I don't think it rebuilt. Yeah, I'd be curious to play around with this though. Find out what it takes to get the, to just do pretty much static pages using HTML, because that's what it sounds like you're wanting to do. But if you also wanted to do Blazor, then just do your template. So pick a new MAUI application. It will template it all for you. Especially if you tell it to use Blazor. It'll template this for you too. And it'll create the index.html for you. But if you need to see it, inside of there is pretty much, oh, I customize it, but it's just this div app, the Blazor error UI, and then the bootstrapper for loading Blazor runtime. But yeah, so that's all for today. Man, that went way too fast. It was a lot of fun. I love hanging out with you guys. So anyway, of course, you know what I'm gonna do. Oh, you know who I'm gonna raid. So let me switch to this. Thank you all so much for joining, hanging out with me today. I will be back and I'll be back again on Wednesday, and same bad time, same bad channel. Oh gosh, Big Amy's a baby at the moment, so it's really hard for me to think through that. But we will go ahead and raid the one, the only Bit Gamey, Master Lee. Amazing guy. He's just great. He's fantastic. And I did that so wrong. That's not how you raid people. You do slash raid. In the meantime, He made it. He made it to say, have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much. I'll see you around places. Definitely check out TBD Gamer. He streams again morning US time, so 7 a.m. Eastern time. See you, Apocalypse. Thank you so much for waking me up and helping me to be alert all the time. Why didn't the raid actually start? Invalid username. BitGamey. Raid. BitGamey. But check out TBD Gamer. He does .NET development as well. Mondays and Tuesdays he does a community project. Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays he works on a platform essentially that he's wanting to make a for real platform. So allegedly. Allegedly. But amazing guy to hang out with. So anyway, that's it for me. Enjoy. Oh, right. All of the things. This is us on, thank you for the Discord link, Juan Van. This is also us on the YouTube. So I post my streams to YouTube no sooner than 24 hours. That's a lie. I post it whenever I post it now because there is no more 24-hour limit on it. Nice. That is kind of what my hand looks like though, isn't it? I'm going to put eyes and hair on it next time. And then feel free to hang out on our Discord. It's a pretty quiet Discord, so if you're already a part of way too many, please don't feel pressured to, but the invitation is there. We're a very welcoming community. Some really awesome people. So yeah, ciao for now. Enjoy. I can't find my camera. All right, bye.